What in the world is going on with Wesley Chapel? It seems like everybody wants to move here. 9 times out of 10, when I get inquiries from potential customers or buyers looking to move to the greater Tampa Bay area, they are usually inquiring about what it's like to live here in Wesley Chapel, Florida. About a year and a half ago, I posted this video, Wesley Chapel Pros and Cons, and it's one of my most popular and most viewed videos here on my channel. So today, we're going to be doing the updated 2023 version of the pros and cons of living in Wesley Chapel. Now, just so you know, I actually did not go back and rewatch the video that I originally posted because I wanted to make sure that all of the pros and cons I'm sharing with you are really fresh and relevant and applicable to 2023. By the way, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Vivian. I create content all about new construction, living, and moving to and living in the greater Tampa, Florida area. If you haven't done so yet, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Wesley Chapel is a main suburb here in the Pasco County area, located about 17 to 20 miles north of the city of Tampa. And overall, it has seen a lot of growth and expansion over the last 10 to 12 years, but more so in the last 4 to 5 years, we've really seen this area boom and grow. And originally, it was an area that became a lot more affordable for people to purchase a home. You got a lot more for your money, and it became a really popular suburb and destination for many home buyers. Now, as things have changed and progressed, it's actually quite different. So we're going to be chatting about those pros and cons. So let's go ahead and get started with the cons. Let's get those out of the way. Now, let me remind you, these are all my personal cons. They can be kind of subjective based on each person, but first of all, I would say the main complaint and the main drawback about living here is the traffic. Of course, this is going to be relative. If you're moving from a really big metropolitan city and you face normal rush hour traffic like all the time, you might be used to it. And larger cities seem to have the infrastructure, the roads, the highways to really account for large populations. Wesley Chapel, not so much. One of the main contributing factors to this traffic is all the construction that has happened over the last several years. And the roads and infrastructure just really could not catch up with how quickly people were moving here and the growth in population. Wesley Chapel is really not that big, but I avoid going out on the main roadways during rush hour or peak traffic, because in some circumstances, it can take me over half an hour to get from one side of Wesley Chapel to the other, and it's really not that big of a city. So traffic is kind of a pain. The main roadways here in Wesley Chapel are State Road 56 and State Road 54. State Road 56 used to be a big pain to get across. There's an area called the Diamond Interchange right in front of the Tampa Premium Outlets, and it's the on and off ramp for I-75, and this just gets so overly congested. Especially during the holidays, it can take almost 20 to 30 minutes to get from my house to the main on-ramp onto I-75, and I don't even live that far from this Diamond Interchange, so it gets really congested. Now, the main place that I try to avoid, and I'll even take the long route, is State Road 54. It's all congestion because it's all under construction. There's all orange cones lined up on both sides. And they're trying to expand the roads here, and it's just bumper to bumper traffic. People are crazy when they drive here. I just try to avoid State Road 54 at all costs, but sometimes you can't really avoid it at all, and you just kind of have to really time when you're gonna head out because it gets really crazy and congested. Now, something that used to be a big pro for living in Wesley Chapel was the affordability of housing. Now, I would say it's actually made its way onto the cons list. What used to once be a very affordable place, you could get a lot of bang for your buck, has created a lot of demand, and therefore, supply and demand. So home prices have continued to steadily increase. This is a very popular area for new construction. There was a lot of land out here, so developers came in, swooped it up, and started developing all these master plan communities. And now we have increased average sales prices in this area. So many people who want to live in Wesley Chapel end up looking elsewhere because it's a little bit more affordable. They're going to get more for their money. At the time of today's recording, the average sales price for a single family home here in Wesley Chapel is just north of $549,000. So we jokingly say that the Wesley Chapel wave has progressed to surrounding cities like San Antonio, Dade City, Zephyr Hills, so on and so forth, because if you're looking to buy new construction in those markets, it may be a little bit more affordable than Wesley Chapel. For me, another major con is the lack of planning for construction. This is a really big frustration point, and granted, I am in the real estate industry, so of course I'm helping buyers purchase homes and master planned communities, but it's quite frustrating to see all of these big developers come in, buy land and start developing, huge communities, but there really seems to be a lack of planning, whether it's from the county or the developers themselves or even the city, on how to really accommodate for all of the infrastructure. I mean, it just seems logical to me that if you're going to put several hundreds to several thousands of homes in an area, you have to account for all of these people moving in. So you have to make sure you have expanded roadways, you have to make sure you have enough grocery stores and schools to account for the growth and the influx of people, but it just seems like things are done backwards, and this is really frustrating because then it takes several years to catch up on all of this growth and the population, and it just really seems like Wesley Chapel has not handled this growth and expansion as good as it could have. If you spend even a couple of minutes scrolling through Facebook groups talking all about Wesley Chapel, it seems like everybody has this complaint, and it goes along with lack of planning. I mean, if you're going to be building and expanding and adding commercial and retail spaces, we don't need 1,000,001 car washes or 1,000,001 storage facilities. And if you take a drive down State Road 56, State Road 54, it seems like there's a car wash on every single corner. Now, I don't really know the logistics on how they decide what they're going to put in the area, but it would be really nice if we could get a couple more grocery stores, for example, so we don't have to track through all of the congestion and traffic to get to the nearest Publix, for example. So, a little bit more thought and planning and maybe better use of the land we still have available would be really nice for some more variety on other types of retail and commercial spaces and shops that we actually do need in the area. Now let's end this video on a positive note. Let's talk about several pros of living in Wesley Chapel. So one of them is the location, and this is the big appeal that many homeowners like because you're still relatively close to the greater Tampa area, to the city of Tampa, yet you're still in the suburbs area, but you're not too far away. You're super close to the new Tampa area, right off of Bruceby Downs. You have a really nice grocery store, Sprouts, some really nice chain restaurants, and it's just a few minutes away from Wesley Chapel, so this is really nice. Then you have downtown Tampa about 40 minutes away, and then depending where you are in Wesley Chapel, the Tampa International Airport is just shy of 45 minutes, so it's still relatively close for people who fly frequently. And Clearwater Beach, for example, is just about an hour away, so you're still close enough to those things. They are still a little bit of a drive, but it's not super far away. For many people, they also like the suburban / family-friendly appeal of Wesley Chapel, and again, this is all relative depending on what your preferences are and what you look for in an area. There's many commercial developments and retail spaces. For example, we have Sam's Club, Costco, we have the Tampa Premium Outlets, we have the shops at Wiregrass Mall, which is an outdoor mall, and then we also have the Grove, and most recently we have the Crate at the Grove. So there's a lot of retail, shopping and dining, lots of big box commercial places. If you're really into like the health foods type, shops and restaurants, you're not really gonna find that here. You're gonna find your major commercial chain restaurants and things like that. If you're looking for more specialized, individualized, like health food type stores, you're gonna have to drive down to New Tampa to go to Sprouts or like Whole Foods. Unfortunately, we don't really have these like major health food stores in our area. We do have Nutrition Smart, which is a local natural food store. So this is really nice, and I frequent that store a lot because I really do enjoy not having to drive all the way to the downtown Tampa area just to go to Whole Foods. We also have major hospitals, ice skating rinks, tennis courts, golf courses. So there's a lot of outdoor things to do, and it's just a really fun place to kind of just hang out, and you're still close enough to the beaches and other things if you want to do, you know, more outdoor type things as well. There's a lot of new construction options. Now this can be both a pro for some people and a con for other people. You will probably hear the very old timer, original Wesley Chapel residents complain about all of the new construction, because Wesley Chapel actually used to be a lot of farmland, a lot of, you know, agricultural land and farms and things like that. And over the years, it's turned into a major suburban area. And so as we have more and more master plan communities, we lose more and more of that agricultural farmland. So a lot of people actually do not like the whole new construction feel of Wesley Chapel, and many of the original Wesley Chapel residents have actually left because they prefer that more rural lifestyle. So this can be a both pro and con depending on what your preferences are. And lastly, a pro for many people are the schools and charter schools. There aren't a whole lot of options in terms of private schools, so people go the charter school route. If you live in Wesley Chapel, I'd love to hear from you. Share below in the comments what the pros and cons of living here are. I think overall Wesley Chapel is a really great place to live. I think there's a lot of variety for shopping and dining and outdoor things to do, while it's still a small enough city where it feels suburban, but yet close enough to the city of Tampa. So this is all for today's video. If you have any questions or would like to know more about what it's like living in Wesley Chapel, I'll leave my contact information here. I'd love to have a call with you and just chat more about Wesley Chapel to help you determine if this is the right place for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in next week's video.